The new NIB card now available will tell you how the first day went of distribution. I'm Joan Davis-Roll. Stay tuned for that story.
The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shashina Rule. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news, the National Insurance Board rolling out its new smart card yesterday. It is viewed as a big step for NIB that will eliminate fraud. But today, on day one, some challenges were experienced with the production process. Joan Davis-Roll has our top story.
Time now for us to advance the system. And with the new technology, that's exactly what we are doing.
It is an idea which time has come. One day after the official launch of the new National Insurance Card, the main National Insurance office on Grand Bahama was a buzz of activity, as over 100 residents turned up to register for the new card before noon on Wednesday.
Persons are excited. We had a good turnout this morning. It is a shame we had those challenges, but I can see them being cleared up in the very near future. And so come in to get your card, take advantage of this time. We're going to be here all week with the exception of Sunday until next week, Tuesday, from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. We have staff just devoted for this service so that we can ensure that as many persons in Grand Bahama obtain their card, especially during this week.
However, there was a major hitch. NIB Senior Manager James Winter calls it a glitch in the system.
We are having a challenge with the photo. So what we are doing, we are getting the information on the R4 form, which is a registration form. We are updating persons' information, and we are also using whatever means of ID, passport, driver's license, voter's card, to update the system. And so when they come back, once we get this resolved, then we'll be able to move quickly with them.
Winter says the new laminated digital NIB card now not only puts residents on the cutting edge of technology, it is a passport to your NIB benefits. How much is this costing NIB?
I do not have a figure. That figure was not released to me as yet, but the cost to the public is zero. We're not charging anything for this card. So even though obviously the plastic card, the picture and everything, this is costing us more money, there's no cost to the public. And we are absorbing this cost because, there is so much that we can do with the new card. And so I think the cost benefit is well worth it.
As a part of the official launch, officials at NIB say persons will be able to turn up even on Saturdays to collect their new NIB cards. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Joan Davis-Roll.
Thank you, Joan. Well, attorney John Bostwick is no longer a member of the Senate. Leader of the opposition Free National Movement, Dr. Hubert Minnis, announcing today that he has advised the Governor General that the appointment of Senator John Bostwick be revoked with immediate effect. Dr. Minnis also indicating that a replacement will be announced in short order. Now, 42-year-old Bostwick was arraigned in the Magistrates Court Monday in New Providence on a single ammunition charge. He's accused of possessing 10 live rounds of .22 millimeter ammunition on May 17th while here in Freeport. Police say the 42-year-old George Street resident was traveling from Freeport to New Providence Saturday night when he was stopped at the security checkpoint after they reportedly noticed a suspicious object and alerted police. Now, Bostwick has pleaded not guilty to the charge and was granted $9,000 in bail. Bostwick was sworn in as a senator last February, filling a vacancy that existed since December 2012 due to the resignation of Zhivargo Lang. Police are searching for two men who allegedly robbed a motorist around midnight on Tuesday. Police tell us that the driver was in his vehicle at the intersection of Adventurers Way when he was approached from behind by two men. One of the men reportedly pulled out a silver handgun, gun-butted the driver, then proceeded to rob him. The assailants were able to make their getaway with jewelry and a cell phone valued at over $8,000. One of the suspects was reportedly wearing a long-sleeve gray shirt. Police are actively investigating this matter. And the search is on for a 55-year-old man reported missing here on Grand Bahama. Anthony Boleg, aka Andy, was last seen by family members on Thursday of last week. At that time, this resident of Grassmere subdivision was said to be wearing a red cap, yellow shirt, and black pants. His sister, Priscola Lockhart Smith, says this is highly unusual for her brother and she's looking to the public for help.
He's 55 years old and he is in the dark brown complexion, short haircut, and he weighs about 150 to 60 pounds. His height is in the area of 5 feet 6, 7. If anybody knows of anywhere that they might see Mr. Boleg, we would like for you to please contact the police station.
Now, if you can help police locate 55-year-old Anthony Boleg, aka Andy, you should contact police at 350-3107 or 8-911-919 or call your nearest police station. Well, the year of 2015 could be one of transition for Freeport as the government gets another opportunity to sit down with the Grand Bahama Port Authority to discuss whether to continue to exempt real property taxes. Tonight, a local attorney is advising the government to negotiate from a position of strength. Come 2015, the government will have an opportunity to renegotiate the terms of the Freeport bylaws with the Grand Bahama Port Authority. These bylaws help to enforce the maintenance of proper standards and orderly development in the Freeport area. As the government gets another opportunity to sit down with the Port Authority to discuss whether to continue to exempt Freeport from real property taxes, noted attorney Rankin Johnson explains exactly why it's important to read this act.
That act will tell you which applies to the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, other than to the area of Hawksbill Creek area, as to how we are taxed, who assesses the taxes, the property taxes, which islands are applicable, which islands are excluded, the rate of the tax, and what is the rate for the Bahamians and exemptions, and what are the rates for the non-Bahamians who come here to develop or who come here to remain as residents.
She says residents must assess what is needed and what they are entitled to.
We have to assess what we are giving up by way of real property tax by people who are here as developers. The primary one being the Grand Bahama Port Authority and the Grand Bahama Development Company. What we are giving up in 2015 for whatever term, what value is it that we would receive from such taxation? But if we are to extend it, what we should be benefiting from.
The former magistrate says the government has a great role to play going forward.
Our government today, our opposition today, should take the time to value what will be the criteria, and they have that right. They have that jurisdiction. It's not mandatory that we extend it, that they should calculate as to the value we will receive, that we should ask for if we have to extend it. When you give up something, you have to know what you're getting in return. As a nation, as an independent nation, with a jurisdiction, we cannot, we should not negotiate from a point of weakness, but from a point of strength.
Stay with us, the Bahamas Tonight. The Northern Edition continues right after this.
Bringing news that matters to you. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition.
Welcome back. The Rotary Club making life a whole lot easier for the students of Grand Bahamas Beacon School. The institution caters to the special children of the island, and the effort made by Rotary is described as nothing short of extraordinary. Natalie Martinborough has the story.
The Rotary Club's special project is adding a special touch to the lives of the students of the Beacon School. The Rotary Club of Lucaya has invested $170,000 in the erection of the playground in honor of former Rotarian Stephen Dillette, who passed away a year ago. The playground features a playpen, serenity garden, and the main playground with a merry-go-round and a gazebo. Minister of Education, the Honorable Jerome Fitzgerald, says he was touched by the show of compassion displayed by the Rotary Club.
It causes my heart to burst with pride to see the length and breadth that members of the Rotary Club of Lucaya have gone to fulfill a promise to and honor their former president, the late Stephen Dillette. We may have come here today to witness and celebrate the opening of a playground for the students at the Beacon School, but I am sure you all are fully aware that it really is more than that. This is really has been said by a few of the speakers before me about genuine love and service. The love and services that are directed towards children who are indeed special.
Minister for Grand Bahama, Dr. Michael Davil, also commending Rotary for its outreach to the special children of Grand Bahama.
Ladies and gentlemen, as a parent of a special child myself, I fully understand the difficulty of those persons who are characterized as being different among us, as well as the challenges they face on a daily basis in our community. I am therefore elated that the Rotary Club of Lucaya, as well as Corporate Grand Bahama, has undertook the construction of this state-of-the-art playground, which will provide all the students of the Beacon School with the opportunity to have a normal play experience and engage in interaction with others in a safe environment.
Club President Billie Jane Ferguson says it was no easy feat, but they were committed to the task.
In this drought economy, corporate Grand Bahama stepped up to the plate. They came out, they did their best, they put work in, they put materials in, and they supported Rotary. Rotary is a name that stands alone, as I'm told, but it cannot stand without the support and the service of the community and the members and all of you.
As for the school's principal, Miriam Sweeting, she couldn't be happier.
The children now have a new play home to actively play with one another safely. Thank you, Rotary Club of Lucaya. Thank you, Rotary Club of Lucaya.
Natalie Martinborough, ZNS Network News.
Thanks, Natalie. The Bahamas Union of Teachers expressing its support to a local youth center, the organization making a significant donation that should help to promote literacy in that inner city area. Sabrina Brown has this story.
Reading is the most important skill a child can acquire. It helps to form a strong foundation for a good education. It's against this backdrop the Bahamas Union of Teachers Status of Women's Committee has set out on a mission to help young people on Grand Bahama to develop their literacy skills. The group of educators donated hundreds of books to the Reach Out Youth Organization. BUT President Belinda Wilson.
It's because we love the work and we admire the commitment of Mr. Said and his wife for the youth of this area. And so we thought it necessary. We know that if you're going to have a community center, then definitely there's a need for books.
Wilson says this effort would not be possible without the help of a special donor.
I must give credit to Ron and Diana Cacciatore. They're two philanthropists. They live in Fort Lauderdale, and they have donated hundreds of thousands of books throughout the Bahamas. And so I said to them, listen, we have to help Dudley Said and his Reach Out Community Center, and they were happy.
Founder of Reach Out Ministries, Dudley Said, and volunteer Vicky Martell are grateful for the kind gesture.
I want to publicly say thank you very much because the book's going to go to good use. It's going to help us for our afternoon program and also for kids who probably want to do some research. We'll have books here for them. So I take my hat off to Belinda Wilson. She always a hard worker, and she called me about a month ago and said she wanted to donate some books to us. And this morning she came and donated the books. She also has some computers for us, and I want to say thank you also.
If anyone has any good reading books they would like to donate, I see lots of them at school fairs and one thing and another. Books that the kids could use for reference would be wonderful. So we thank the Bahamas Union of Teachers and the division here at Grand Bahama.
Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
A local primary school rolling out the carpet for the men and women responsible for molding and shaping the lives of the nation's youth. Walter Parker Primary School observing Teachers Appreciation this week. Today, during a special assembly, the teachers were recognized for their efforts in this noble profession. Principal Jacqueline Pinder says the week began with a prep breakfast, and today's event was a feature of the celebrations.
They go beyond the call of duty. For most of them, they are role models for our students, and we thought today we set this time to honor them and to let them know how much we love them and how much, and to say thank you for all that they have done.
Now, Pinder says the educators at Walter Parker are doing an excellent job to improve literacy and numeracy and also to instill self-confidence in the students as the public institution moves to another level.
As we came into the new year, a part of our school improvement program was to provide positive experiences for our students, enabling them to take Walter Parker to a higher level. So they have gone beyond the call of duty to do that. They have immersed themselves in field trips and various positive activities and experience to help our children grow in a great way.
Finally, news this evening, human trafficking is a global issue and its effects are far-reaching. A local filmmaker has put this issue on film and has gained international acclaim. Three-time award-winning film Passage by acclaimed filmmaker Kareem Mortimer will screen in Freeport this evening. Now, Passage tells the story of a young woman and her brother fighting for survival while being smuggled into the United States on a fishing vessel. The film was featured in a showcase presented by Trinidad and Tobago's Film Festival entitled Caribbean Calling. Passage was one of 5 films chosen by the Commonwealth Foundation's Commonwealth Short Films, beating out thousands of applicants from around the Commonwealth in 2012. It is the first Bahamian film to screen in Havana, Cuba at the International Festival of New Latin American Cinema. High Commissioner His Excellency Ed Bethel also hosted a private screening of Passage at Bahamas House in London this March. The free screening of Passage is slated for this evening at Galleria Cinemas at 7 p.m. Stay with us. Megan Shepard has a check on sports when we come back.
Everybody, welcome to Sports. I'm Megan Shepard. This June, the island's best athletes will go head-to-head in 7 sporting disciplines over 5 days of heated competition. The first ever Grand Bahama Youth Olympic Games is slated for the month of June. President of the Bahamas Olympic Committee on Grand Bahama 2 sanctioned the first Grand Bahama Youth Olympic Games slated for June 25th through the 29th. President Wellington Miller calling the Games a major progression of work and noting the outstanding contribution Grand Bahama has made to top-level sports in the country.
My main message here today, however, is the sporting youth and all 6 constituencies of Grand Bahama, from High Rock in the east to 8 Mile to West End and everywhere in between. I want all of you to know that we will be looking at competition in these games with a view of identifying athletes who we can recommend for national team, for national team and international competition, for a variety of scholarships and other assistance that is available through the Bahamas Olympic movement.
Vice President Iram Lewis adding the significant role that sports play in bringing communities together and the ability it has to bring about positive social changes.
During these inaugural games, young boys and girls between the ages of 13 and 18 will have the opportunity to compete in friendly sporting competition against their peers from the varied communities. The Olympic values of respect, friendship, and excellence will serve as the model for these historic games, which will act as a prelude to the actual IOC Youth Olympic Games to be held in Nanjing, China during the month of August.
Athletes ages 13 through 18 will be competing in 6 different teams to be divided based on the constituency boundaries of West End, 8 Mile Rock, Central, Marco City, Pine Ridge, and High Rock.
Despite the constituencies named, these games are not political, they're not of a political nature, but it is a forum where the residents and constituents dwelling in Grand Bahama can represent and cheer for their families, friends, and neighbors in the spirit of Grand Bahama pride that we normally express through sports.
The athletes will compete in 7 sporting disciplines.
The sports are swimming, track and field, tennis, softball, baseball, basketball, and soccer. Grand Bahama, these are your constituency games. Cheer for your community, your young athletes, and may the best team win.
And that's going to do it for sports tonight.